For more on FIFA's Congress and corruption scandal, I spoke to Jamil Chade. He's the author of Politics, Bribes, and Football. I asked him about the announcement and if it was a surprise.
Yes, I was surprised. Many people inside FIFA were surprised. And actually, this is a bold move. And I try to explain why. She's not only the first female to take such a high-profile position in world football, but also the first African and the first black person, basically, to take such a position. This is a very bold move by FIFA. She is not someone from the football world, which by itself can have a good impact. She's coming to be an administrator. She's basically the CEO of world football from now on. Now, many questions will arise, of course. She has no experience outside the world of the UN, at least that's what we hear so far. And she has no experience in the world of football neither. So many questions will certainly arise about basically her duties, what actually she will be allowed to do and what she will not be allowed to do, and how much will this be just a smokescreen for something else. But still, as a symbol, it is a bold move.
Did FIFA need to do something like this to turn the page, because there's been so much focus on the corruption, the scandal? Was it time for them to take a step like this to just basically get their message going in a different direction, so to speak?
That is basically the turning the page moment for FIFA, at least in terms of symbolism. It's an entity ran by men for the last century. It is an entity that, despite having a growing female football activities in the world, is still very much concentrated in men's football. So it is a signal to the world that, yes, FIFA can change, and it's willing at least to send signals that it wants to have a new image around the world. Now, I insist, if this is a good symbol, if this is a good sign to the world, it will still be tested. Why do I say this? Because we have seen FIFA in the past giving some good signals, giving some good directions, but actually not performing as they had promised. And I give you one example, which is, of course, the Ethics Committee of FIFA. When it was created, it was also branded as something very positive. But at the end of the day, it was very clearly an instrument. So the question now is, how much will this be an instrument, or will this be really a turning page moment for FIFA? Now, despite the doubts that we may still have, basically because of the history of FIFA, the fact that they took this courageous step of putting a woman in such a high profile, it is by itself a very positive aspect.
There's talk of new reforms. Are they enough?
No, and that is perhaps the big challenge that FIFA will still have in the months to come, and I would say even in the years to come. What the reform that was approved today is, in many aspects, a very welcome reform, a reform that establishes limits to the power of these officials. These officials that for many years, I would say for decades, had no limits and could basically act in total impunity. That is what we saw, and that's what the FBI showed us after so many months of work. Now, what does FIFA still need to do in order to have a clean, let's say, organization running and actually providing services for football? First of all, the reform that happened today did not allow independency for the ethics committees and for the investigation chambers of the institution. So, meaning that there will be still a political influence when FIFA does some, let's say, judiciary activities, when they pursue people and when they act upon some of their officials. This is not good, and this is still a problem that will have to be solved in the next couple of months, and I would say perhaps even up to 2017.
If you like what you just saw, follow us on social media and visit our website, cctv-america.com.